Percent, eh?
9 to 5. Give us
10%.
something else.
Or this 10% here
Yeah,
of
of the
the
overall,
Yeah.
100%.
so this 10% and then minus off.
Yeah.
I get
All
that.
of
Yeah. So just know we get 90. So we still coming
No
out with
boy,
90.
I ain't like that. Angie, in this exam, I need
No,
every
we Angie. We busted open.
I need every
Y'all joking.
anybody passes Bethel.
Of course.
Yeah.
Girl, you get in the big high 30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
34, 37,
How you know?
36.
I told you that.
She didn't tell who. You don't know.
Oh, she just say that,
But
but
I
I
can watch
give
it and I can watch the expression.
But you know,
Wow.
that devil is a liar.
What about that? But she need to get sorry. Freestyle.
I'm good.
That okay. You get over 38.
No.
And you call it okay? She has all.
Yes, she did okay.
Me, I did okay.
Well,
I didn't get an F.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So
No,
what you
she
say?
didn't get it out.
I got an F.
No, we don't.
Overall, it was on a 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
So you said you got over 30?
No.
But I want to
see.
You say you get a high 29, a high 28.
No.
And you, somebody can say,
What number you got?
I got in the 20.
What 20? I
Go.
got 29.
I check, you see, I should
She
not.
say, don't.
Yeah. So I don't want to say this, I
No
want to
problem,
respect
ma'am.
her.
I'm gonna give
I say,
Okay, excuse me.
I got to see.
You know what
you-
you know what you do when you all are doing that, right? You're comparing yourselves. You don't do
No, I'm
that.
not comparing myself.
Oh,
I'm not
so
comparing
that's
myself.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
put
put
myself
myself
as well. Mind you, before we
open
start
it,
the exam,
open
I told you that. I told you that. Take and yeah,
Yes.
I told you that. I said I did well. I didn't take it well.
It ain't that serious, man.
It's very serious.
I
No,
think it's
they
that
pay
serious.
thousands of dollars for this class. It's very
No,
No,
you know what?
it ain't that serious.
It's
No,
very serious.
No, you don't take on things like that because some people are good at exams. Some people are good at presentations. Some people are good at leading discussions. You know, so that's why I broke it up in all of those different categories. So your strength, whatever it is, you have the opportunity to show your strength. So you're not disadvantaged. It's all good, man.
Yeah, I can't say.
I did not know I was gonna get all this choice.
And I am.
I wow.
So you passed it.
No, but I just got more points than I thought I was gonna get.
I was expecting to get what I get.
I just want, she said she gonna answer.
I know the answers now because I didn't see them, I remember, and I actually know.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I
But
never
we're
got
going
that.
on.
Oh, you don't know nothing.
No, I mean like in general.
No, you didn't.
For my,
Like
for
the
my
corner
finish, my finishes, I knew I failed. And I was like,
Why you put one of the
oh, I
functions?
said, just take this away. I ain't even tried to well on this, to stress out myself.
She's like got 0. I didn't even think like what I put. No, I can't believe I put this here. Now. That's foolishness. That was not me. Yeah, no. Couldn't have been.
So where would you get, because she going?
No, man, that's still the
No,
setup.
they're gonna have integrity. She
Yeah.
doesn't want
And
that.
that, and we future HR.
You have to
Yeah.
practice that.
That's fine.
And that's marginal.
You don't try to say it about yourself. Why you wanna say that?
No, I think I did well. I know why I say that. You thought you did good to compare to what you was thinking. I think I gotta do that. I think I gotta study. I
Oh,
just want
okay.
to.
All of us.
Yes, I think it's a long time. It's just hard. Listen to me. Honestly, truthfully, I have something to say, and I wanna say this from this back, I'm not, even though she may not care. No, but I honestly feel like the booklet, this booklet here that we're studying out of, is not like the first booklet. Not in terms of it being more information. I don't think that it's put together well. Or I don't, Miss Bethel, I have something I wanna say. And I said this
Tell
before.
about the pet peeve about the booklet.
Yeah,
You're gonna express it right
I express to you this booklet here.
It was not put together properly.
No,
Yes.
no, and it's confusing for me, I'm being very honest.
So it's better with
They
put
have-
together a book.
The other
Let's
booklet,
put together a book.
the other
I
booklet.
think I will.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe it depends on my schedule.
Or they
I
can't
make
see
sure
enough
I
of that. But honestly, I
I
just
demand
have to say that.
$5 for that. If you
Awesome.
want my book, then you will pay for my book.
Listen to me, Miss Bethel, I am being very honest. I'm very honest. I open.
I'm confused.
Yes,
When I was preparing, this is the they gave me and the outline the support,
you
right?
understand?
Because
I feel better now.
Miss Marcel was doing the course, but she
much
no longer
better.
could do it.
Both of these
So
books
I
are
was
well
like-
put together,
I was like,
but the second one
But
is
the first one,
atrocious.
the first one was better than, a little bit
Both
better than
were
this.
atrocious,
Both
the
are
second one
awful,
was
mind
like,
you. Yeah.
giving good notes, but
the Yeah.
first one
Yeah.
Good notes.
Not even,
I
not
mean,
even,
it's
no,
not like-
no.
Yeah.
She's giving good notes now.
Yeah.
It's just that this one here has a lot more information. So it's just, it's not.
What
it's
information?
This,
This here?
this book here has more in
It
here
has
than
more.
the first book. It does.
have more.
It has
detail.
more. When it's
A
organized,
lot of open-ended information.
it has
Yes.
more, yeah.
A lot of open-ended information.
But it's that's more. I just want to say, let's be
They
proud
that
of this.
it open and you can't find when in.
Okay, but Denise, I
No,
didn't
no,
like the
no, no.
first birthday.
The days were
Like,
not.
No,
Oh,
it's
introduction
intro.
to
It's
universal.
April now.
Intro.
My anniversary is yesterday. I'm Tanya birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Tanya and Jane, thank you.
Tanya,
Tanya,
yeah.
The same day, right?
Tanya and Jane birthday.
Friday,
Friday,
right, the 21st.
Friday.
I forgot they were born the same day.
Jane,
But happy anniversary of my years.
Yeah.
God bless you, you good? You know, she married my nephew, right? She never told you all that, right? She knows that.
I know it's relationship.
She married to my nephew,
Oh,
one
you
of my,
have to tell them that you
one of my
sometimes
young-
one time.
yeah, my younger sisters.
You have to tell me the time is right one
I
time.
don't see him. I don't see him. I see him more. But Jesus, Lord.
Day and
So,
night.
son,
If they like day and night, that's my husband and I. Day
okay,
and night.
all right. Yeah,
I am
he's a nice
the,
guy,
I'm
you know.
the,
He's a nice guy.
extrovert. My husband is the introvert.
That's, yeah, it works.
I mean, literally day and night. My husband doesn't speak and I'm the talker.
Yeah. And you're very.
Yeah.
My husband.
Huh?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. Hi, good evening.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful. He's like,
Ken not coming today?
you wouldn't even know he had a class.
No, I'm online today, guys.
Yeah.
Are you well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, darling. How are you?
Okay, this is Tatum asking if everything's well, okay?
Yes, darling. Thank you.
And the Richies and,
Oh, Miss Bethel, why you going to spill the beans?
your husband is tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why I could talk to you.
That's
because
what I
I could
understand.
tell- I could tell any one of them, tired of what I couldn't, this, you know, this.
Please
is-
fight for
So you mean I could have gone to Kim and join you all online?
RBC.
That's what you, no, no.
Ken,
Michelle
they talking with
She
you.
used to work for RBC.
Where are you, mom? You don't mind me asking.
Listen,
I can still catch Kim, I can join you all online, I go.
That means we ain't getting no good food tonight.
Very fine people.
They give you any money yet?
yeah, they did. They did.
Taking a sign.
Oh, dear, so good to hear your voice. I
Yes,
sent you the
ma'am.
results,
Same
right?
to you. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate my results so much. Thank you.
Wonderful.
The group result or your exam?
The group result, I had to send you, I'll send you your exam results, then, seeing that you're not in class tonight. Okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
let me see if I can send it to you now.
Okay.
Hey, Kendra.
Hi, Denise. How are you?
Hey, man, good. Why you in the class? I miss you.
I miss you too. I'll be there on Wednesday.
Okay, my love.
Yes,
Can you
darling.
believe them? That you really believe they telling you the truth, they miss you? They only miss the food.
No, don't try, can you tell Miss B, don't try that.
No, they love. They
Tell her
love
we
you.
don't live like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I put the. I put my email address, so the company can get in touch with me. John, I will do.
They should get that big 37. Big 37.
I believe.
Big 37. JJ, yeah.
Anastasia just came in, right? Oh, yeah, okay, I was looking down, sorry. And
Stop reading down the rules. Yeah.
I don't know which piece, but I know.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Right.
I know
So
some
many
of them.
people that.
You don't know these things. So I can answer the details about it.
Yes, they are clean.
But I know that my, the person to, and then.
Lucia, come in.
Okay.
Y'all know they just find somebody dead. Right for now.
And they say
Which canal?
gunshot, I was saying that.
By
she
us?
made a
Where?
public- Yeah, see,
You know how to raise right?
Which part?
What happened?
By the canal.
What they find?
but she was shot.
The
What?
first one, the
A
first,
lady.
a woman
In the
was
canal.
shot and they threw the body in the
Yeah, they
canal.
throw in the canal.
I was thinking that this person
I thought she
drowned. I
drowned.
thought the person drowned
But I just- the
until they.
person- She said
So
that
the
it was
second-
gunshot.
They were on live, yes. On my way driving, I was watching
You
it.
know, really, you know, I live less than.
I
5
know you
minutes
do.
right from
That's
there.
why.
Still, I didn't see anything.
Uh-huh.
I just tried to get before.
Mhm. This, if I,
No,
if I
that's
came here,
before.
yeah, this was before.
That was before that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awful in this
Mhm.
country. It's
Very.
awful.
If we just continue to break, that's all.
So
How
they
could
paid
people
for
begin
persons,
to-
and she's like, they say she was like, she's in her late 30s.
Oh, young. That's right by the.
And they
corner.
just found
I see
something
the
with her
ambulance,
daughter.
it's the ambulance.
Right, Cokie goes, your little girl, what they say was missing. Oh, I'm fine, they find her around. Y'all ain't seen circulating. One little girl look like Indian, like
And they kind of went.
wandering on the park. What the park name? Beautiful little girl. You could see like she come from a mix.
Uh-huh.
And
They
they,
just found the
they just
one.
find her wandering on a park.
But she
What
probably.
is wrong? She
And how old is she?
little girl, she probably
Oh,
was
little
a
child.
child.
Like how old Tatum you think?
I would say about 5. Mhm.
Oh, she beautiful. She wanted them.
I wondered. And then you know the guy went to jail over the holiday weekend, how he took his children, 6-year-old and 3-year-old on the beach. Right, this beach right here,
Western
Western Esplanade,
And the what?
and leave them. I say he must see his hip coat.
Hold on, what you mean
He carried the children on the beach as a father to say, having an outing with the children. Take the children on the beach. The police find them because you know the holiday, the beaches be crowded. When nighttime came and they were circulating, like how they used to do their drive-by or whatever. They wonder when they drive, they see these 2 children sitting on the beach on the little thing.
So
and they
can
could
talk
talk.
to the water.
They could talk. They
Exactly.
told the police. They came to the beach with their daddy, the 6-year-old, talk and said their daddy. So they try to figure out like what happened, like where he gone, why he, how he get
What do you think it's like drama or
the
something?
mummy is in the mummy have all her sense and like she say she ain't gonna never give her if their daddy say he gonna
Yeah,
come take the
take them to
children.
the
So
beach,
she
yeah.
say, okay, fine. She let them take them. Come on in jail. They locked him.
Good. They start the.
And he, I don't know if he plead guilty or not guilty or whatever the case may be. Cause I said I was supposed to read up on it. But
Right.
yeah, he must be going into cocaine or smoke dope or something.
No,
What you think?
on
happened?
foreign probably.
I
Yeah.
forget. You can't
But
be
the only
foreign.
one to
Listen,
see
I'm gonna
every
get you. When you
They
take
go
coke
on
or smoke weed, you ain't in your
Yeah,
right frame of
And
mind
the one
anymore.
is sex.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can imagine if those children are going into the water.
No, I feel so sorry for some of these children.
Now that's the problem.
But,
Okay, if they go in the water and you da. But then these old big gray men take them and molest them.
Yeah.
That's what boys.
That's just
Yeah.
like the lady who they
That is
found, yes, the lady they found, murdered and her daughter. They said that was the same guy who, when you read the story, couple of, like 2 days ago, who the mother had, charged for raping the little girl, and they don't know if he probably did that because the case was coming up, the 13-year-old girl.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's the
That
guy,
is
yes, that's them. Who
Oh,
was
no.
surrendering, he
I
came
know,
to, he
yeah,
came
like
to the
this man.
mother's, a place where they reside in that filthy area.
What's
And
going on?
he forced himself on the little girl and he went to jail and they let him out. Cause he's not
Yeah.
on bail and now the case is coming up,
The
the case is coming up, and so that's how all this spiraled out of control. Because now the daughter was going to testify against him. That's how all this spiraled out of control.
But you know what? The court
you read it? You
system
read-
needs to be
It just
revamped.
came out like 2 days ago that's the case. The rape
I
case.
gotta read on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the because the ladies, cousin,
Y'all walk me in.
No, cause I'm in
Mhm.
those sweaters, so don't cut this off, I can freeze.
You know what, in all honesty, this court system is ridiculous.
But this type of thing, this makes.
did you see in the newspapers, it was a couple of months ago, they said, this guy he has, he's been on bail 11 times, he's been on bail 10 times, and he has violated his bail. The court gave him bail 11 times, and this guy stole $5,000 worth of mechanic items, and he did not get bail.
I saw
Yeah,
that,
I
I
saw
saw that, I saw that, and that's crazy.
And I trying to figure out
He
what,
do no killing, he just, and you ain't miss what I mean, you could see he know, they criminal. He stole $5,000 worth of goods. He got no bail, but this nigga who violated his bail 10 times, the 11th time they still give him bail. How is that possible? And he on the 6 years. How is that possible?
who they
Who you know?
go, and it's who they
Who you
go
know in
before,
this
because whoever they go before already get grease. You know, this person. come
It's
up
who
with
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
I don't care how much bail you get, how could somebody be on some multiple murder and violated bail and could still get bail again?
You think they
That's
care?
crazy. That's flipping crazy, you can understand.
They care.
Yeah, but read up on the story, that's okay.
And see what he come back and say, you see what he, you all saw what he wrote last night?
No.
But he was saying that the girl, that
Say she accused him of sleeping with her daughter.
Good night.
And say how she fly up at him with
Yeah.
trying to
They
just
were self-defense.
he say she accusing him of
Hold on,
sleeping with her daughter.
and
And
you,
say, you know what, I say she ended up drinking herself with the knife.
so if she took herself, how is it that the two of them were so violent, their bodies were so violent?
And that, you know, that was whoever sent it out.
I don't even want to see it,
That
how
was-
is it, I just heard how gruesome it was.
Their throat are cut, both of them.
So how you can end up chicken yourself?
Yourself in your
You
throat.
all saw the photo with his hand, up with the slice and stuff, but it was self-defense. Listen.
I don't see none.
The
No,
man was saying-
they both of them,
It's
both of them, they slice up that one.
It ain't up to place.
That's crazy.
And she don't have no stock ones or anything on her. Just bad.
But they can get away.
What was so shocking for me is that the daughter eyes.
How why were they bulging like that?
Because they were already decomposing.
Oh, so it's like they're popping up.
And you can see.
And
You
then
know
they
what they call it now, what's it?
Rigor mortis, yeah, rigor mortis, that's true, and then they-
Yeah.
Say it again, when the-
Rigor mortis starts to set in, yeah.
The mom got stabbed in the eye.
I didn't see that.
I used to.
See, my husband, like, he was like that, too, he was like.
Used to work
zooming
with-
in and zooming out.
With the.
Even yesterday, right, Keisha. Yeah. On right there on the side of man, he's doing these pictures.
Hey,
Shut up. Shut right off.
oh, I did not close that thing.
You know, right? They have a test next door, yeah, they have a test next door. Oh, yeah.
So nobody disclosed it. Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Everyone is fine. We have Molly is doing something.
Kendra.
And Kendra's here on Zoom. And Bodie and Exumer is not gonna be with us this evening.
This was guy.
It's your God time, she gets ready for that.
You all are
I
so
guess the
good.
hotel probably down pocket.
Yeah, that's the thing, that's the thing.
And they right on the site.
I would have loved to be.
Wow.
Bodie went to a hotel.
Well, we should have
It's a place tonight, hotel.
She works the
My
Scotia.
gosh, we should have done class. in
Works
it.
at Peace and Plenty. She works.
She works.
Scotia side. She's
So why
not a Scotia.
Unless she worked two places.
Anyhow,
I thought she only told me
I could call the police thing. I didn't get
Don't
that.
get in that.
Oh, I'm minding my own business. One of my youth pastors on Sunday. she taught, she was the preacher. And one of the things she went to the scripture, I can't remember, said, mind your own business. I want to read the scripture, what tells you, mind your own. Stop gossiping. But look here, everyone said, and then the whole church was,
That was very nice.
I was Gabrielle, and this one.
Oh, she did a good job.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh,
I
God.
like the fact that she could have backed it up with a scripture.
Yes, I said, I turned to my friends and I turned to Tanya and said,
People-
mind
They-
your
they-
own
You
business.
can
Oh, this sounds
verify
beach.
what they said.
Oh, I thought it was sea breeze. It sounds beach.
Oh, you Beach Canal, and that's Hebrew?
Oh, no,
They
no,
say dead, what he
because
called
they say by the
South
pool,
Beach.
when they
Oh,
were the
South
best,
Beach
yeah,
Canal,
because
okay.
they, Kristen Skippins was given the
Oh,
briefing.
today?
Yeah.
She said that the reporters asked if CCTV took it up in there, the pool. If CCTV would help them and whatever.
It's horrible.
Now, why these two police women walking by themselves?
Ma, listen.
Well, they have already knocking now, these finally ready to dump garbage.
Yeah, they are nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know how we get there, but it's nasty. Can we get started in a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I wanted to really go over the exam, so you get the right answer. Right.
Yeah.
Can you just have to write down the answer?
And I had dances and scrubbing all this.
Is it possible to get a sheet, please?
When you say sheet, would you?
The exam.
Sure. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I have that here, but I have the correction paper too.
Thank you.
I gave you mine tonight, too. I can have one of them.
Huh? Yeah.
Everybody died.
Everybody else need one? Who's yes?
Oh, yeah.
Right on Iris.
Yeah, I have a few copies or whatever.
So, yeah.
The question.
That's what you're giving up now?
Question came out.
What I'm giving out? The whole one.
I need that, the questions, I have one of these, it's not thick as my booklet.
Okay, this one has writing on it. And the papers. Okay, I have one. Anybody else?
You want to get a quick copy of any more, just in case somebody comes?
Yeah.
No, I want, you want me to get another copy or
No,
something?
no, they can write on their answers, if anybody does the extra one here, if anyone else, yeah, they can write on that, so everybody could do that. Okay, there were some high flyers in the exam, okay, so that means they grasped the concepts and they prepared, probably a little more than some of us who didn't do as well. But like I said, the presentations that you all did last week, you all redeemed yourselves. And they were very, 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 very nice, very well done. And I like getting the electronic copy. Thank you very much. Those who got theirs to me a little later than I had anticipated. And I had to sacrifice some time to make sure that they got that before I came to class this evening. Thank you. Good, okay, and I just have to push this that piece into my computer when I'm ready.
Okay, when you're ready, okay.
Yeah, just, right, push it. I
Yeah,
think that-
okay.
put it in, I could reach that one.
I
I
can get a
don't-
little more Anthony.
Yeah.
a little- Mhm.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
great, okay,
All right, you're good.
thank you. The extra one as well. Okay, yeah, the presentations were exceptional, I saw the effort in when I got electronic copies, I saw the effort more than, when
What
we,
was presented.
right, and was more thorough because some of you skipped over some very, very important aspects of it. There was only one, I don't know which group, but you know who you are, I may have made the comment. The one core thing that was missing was the outline, the outlaying of the core values. Always remember that when you're doing a policy and procedure and you're formulating one, your mission, your vision and mission statement dictate what your core values. Your core values help you to set your goals and objectives. And that is how the success of your organization, whatever you're doing, or that policy being implemented is measured. Because basically you formulate your policies and procedures based on what is outlined in your goals and objectives, and your goals and objectives reflect your core values. The core values reflect your vision, mission statement. So if you could get that, if you could get those 5 steps, you'll be okay. So there was only one group who missed that and didn't outline in depth, I think, but everyone else did exceptionally well. Some were more descriptive than others, so that didn't mean that it rated more, gave more, but it just showed a little more research had been done. And one of the things that I was very grateful for was that some of you, I have to give you your exam, 1 minute. You can look as hard as your one look.
No, you know, I
Don't pay no attention to them, Jason. And keep your thing quiet. That's your business. Go sit down.
Expression did not change. No, I don't even know what that is.
Just the best, like she said, that's your business. She did well.
You know the
We had to go with her
words, yeah.
expression this time.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
They measured you, boy. But anyhow, but going back to the presentations, that was the only, I don't want to say weakness, but that was the only challenge I had with one of them, that the core values weren't explained, but everything else in their presentation was exceptional. So the presentations, or I was saying the resources, you referred to your sources. So that was good. That showed at least somebody did some research, even if it was just one person who did research. And some of you did the research. But all of you did some degree of discussion and researching, working together as a team. What else I had to say in the presentation? I liked your creativity and innovativeness, which I saw in the electronic copies more, a little bit more than I saw probably the presentation that evening. Okay. But I like the creativity, and that's what you have to take to the workplace. I was working, actually coaching an organization I'm working with, doing some training with, and I have our mentoring class with them outside of the major training with all the participants. But one of the things that I said to them, we can talk as much as we want and discuss as much as we want in the class. But when you go back to the real workplace, implementing it and making it happen, and that is a challenge because of the, yes, sir?
I will tell you, that is true, that is true, that is true.
Yes.
From the time I've been in this class,
Uh-huh.
based on me being in my office, and seeing everything what's going on,
Uh-huh.
I can tell you that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I felt that, but I think
It's just because,
nothing you could do.
no, I want to say that just because the supervisor, she's progressive, but it's just that based on what's going on right now.
She got time for that.
implementing it right
Yeah.
now.
of the restructure?
Yeah, however, there's a lot of employees who have a lot of ideas that align up with some of the things that, based on what you're discussing, yeah, and based on things that I've researched on my own that I know can benefit.
Uh-huh.
It's a
And
lot.
when you do that, just look at where you are as it's a passage. It's not your end. Okay, and that's what all of you have to look at, and I think of you a lot. Because obviously you had an experience with government employees, and I'm not saying that. to
I will
get
go
them-
back.
Okay,
But things.
a lot, yeah, they were right, and make some things
Not
happen.
in that.
But what I'm saying is that it may not be for the minute for now, especially in structured international companies. Okay, it's not as easy with the
Very good.
RBC to change. And
It isn't because what you do with one, it have to be streamlined with all. So whatever happening in Jamaica, have to happen in Trinidad, have to happen in the Bahamas. So because you have to streamline it and everybody have to be on one accord,
yeah,
that is why it's a little bit more complicated.
yes. So if you could find the ideal company where you as the leader, and you're working and you have an awesome opportunity. You may not see it, you have a challenge, but you have an awesome opportunity
Because
to
everything
build
you
it
do is
and to
from
make it
scratch right
right.
now.
and to
Just
make it
created
right.
my employee handbook this week. I tracked myself in the
Wonderful,
first one
wonderful,
for the company.
wonderful. That's
What they
good.
said about it.
I did it myself.
Mhm.
So right now, the CEO, all the O's, OOOs, reviewing along with the Department of Labor and our attorneys to make sure that everything fits within the lines of the law and it's good and it benefits the company.
Excellent. Awesome.
Very good.
Congratulations. So, yeah, so you do have a
I
great
just give it to
opportunity.
OOOs. I
Yeah.
gave it to attorneys, I gave it to labor.
That's right.
Highly-
Make sure.
Make sure everything, if they correct it now, then go.
It says version 1 of 2023.
Bang.
Version 1 of 1.
Yes, because you know, as the handbook changes, it will say version.
Yeah.
two.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
you have to
Excellent.
keep- When you
You
have the
gotta pay
thing
for that
changing,
now.
oh. it's coming.
Anyhow, it's coming.
And come back.
Cheers for the party. But anyhow, but basically what you're learning in here is not necessarily you're gonna have an opportunity to do it all now. But over time you will. I always tell people that
I'll be a human resource.
why not? That's what it's good.
You don't want
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
want.
because some companies, you get exposed to a lot more things. But one of the things that you're getting a lot of specialty areas now, because you need the specialty skill for a
Right.
lot of these areas. So you decide where you want to go. It's a wide open
It is.
area. Someone last week mentioned about compliance officers working in, was time, it was last week or week before, working in
That was
HR. Last week?
That was
Yeah,
last
that's
week.
last week.
Okay, right. But that's what you, full-time compliance persons, full-time lawyers, so working with a concentration on labor relations. So you don't know where it's gonna take you.
They want me to do law after this class.
Wonderful.
They're really trying to push me everywhere now.
That's good. You could be the regional
Okay,
international HR
So why
manager.
not?
Why not? Okay, so that's my 2 cents on the presentations. So I want to congratulate you. Most of you redeemed yourself for that. The highest score, I think, in this exam was 36. Somebody got 34,
highest score was
some got 29. So 29, 24, okay,
30.
and just 30, okay, so,
So,
we're gonna give you the answers.
so what was
40.
considered for you? Okay.
I would have liked you to at least
No,
get 50%.
okay, like,
At
okay.
least 50% of it you should
You
have
said
gotten.
it was out of 40.
Yeah.
You didn't say 20. You mean
You know, I'm
20.
saying you
get
should have at
20.
least gotten at least
20.
50% of it right,
And that's like 20.
which was
Yeah.
gonna be 20,
Okay.
all right? So let's go with the answers, and I'm just gonna go through this quickly because we got quite a bit. I gotta go through this coaching and the booklet and the slides tonight. It's called coaching and mentoring. It's quite a bit, and the slide presentation is a little long because of what it needs to be covered to support. So just write the answers down. Number 1, the question would identify 3 core functions of the organization that impact HR management required. And you're required to answer this, what I was saying, but basically, I was a little disappointed with that answer. I thought I thought that was the giveaway answer. Administrative, operational, and strategic. Everything that happens in HR ties into either administration, ties into operational, an administrative activity, an operational activity, or strategic.
So
activity.
administrative, what's the other one?
Operational and strategic.
Okay.
Number 2, the question, identify 5 factors that determine human resource plans
I get
You
it.
could have put, well, I'm just giving you some examples. We were looking for policies, they determine plans, procedures, compensation and benefits, core values, labor, the labor laws, compliance, cost, industrial relations. These are all things that really impact your plans for human resources. And that wasn't a difficult answer. Even if you didn't study for that, you should have gotten that. Number three, compensation and benefits is an administrative role because it falls in the human resources, and human resources is administrative. The reinforcement of core values is an organizational role because it affects the entire organization and drives every activity that relates to the operation. And then managing organizational change is a strategic activity. That in itself gave us a giveaway. Number four, explain why HR activities must be aligned with the general business strategies of the organization. Explain why HR activities must be aligned with the general business strategies. Remember, strategic, that strategic drives the activities in the organization. So some of the things I had here, like relationship building, it enforces and directs some strategic goals, relationship between processes and HR role. HR identifies the human resources needed to meet its objectives. So we're talking about things like recruitment. All right, that one you could have. It was a very general question, but the answer needed to make sense. Most of them.
Everybody else?
Oh, tell me the answer, would you get the full 5 points with?
It needed, like I said just
Yeah,
now,
that's
your
right.
answer needed to make sense.
So give me some.
So relationship building, team, it enforces and directs the strategic goals. That's what it does, okay? The activities must be aligned because it enforces the strategic goals that have been set by the organization. It enforces relationships between the processes, okay, that you do, that we execute. It identifies your HR needs. Those things your HR needs, okay? Especially as relates to recruitment and hiring and things of that nature. It enforces the general business activities, so they have to be aligned. You as in, we just did all this work on recruitment. You just can't go and hire anyone. I think the one whoever did the hotel one gave an excellent a recruitment. I can't remember what the group it was. Don't worry about it. That's not important. But they gave an excellent outline of their recruitment and the processes that take place and the activities and the different steps. I was so pleased to see how they talked about you just can't hire anyone. You got to fill out a requisition, okay? You got to advertise inside the organization before you go external.
That was your answer, right? Yeah,
Okay.
you did a
So
good job.
I thought that was a very good and explanation, and what you all can do. Actually, with your presentations, you can send it to the entire class if those, if you wish to. So it becomes a resource for you and a point of reference. Briefly explain how core values shape or impact the work environment. And I gave you 5 points for this. How core values identify what is valuable for the organization. Core values also help to form policies. That's what I was talking, and procedures. Once you have them, that helps you to formulate everything. It helps you to determine what are the rules, regulation, what's going to be okay, what's not going to be okay, and the type of culture that you are working with. It helps to form the cultural environment that you are working in.
So, okay.
Okay. So basically, core values, like we said, remember what I said at the beginning of the class, what it does? It helps you to formulate your policies and procedures. Okay? Your core values help you to formulate what your goals, what your objectives are going to be.
Formulate your
Goals and objectives. your policies, procedures, your rules, your formulate your, even how you're developing a employee handbook, it determines what need to be put in there to a great extent as well. Name 3 characteristics of high performance culture. This was a giveaway. I have correct answers, things like values of practice, activities provide high value satisfaction for customers and clients, whether internal or external. Things grow and they flourish together. Goals are achieved. Financial expectations are met. Staff understands the value of their work. They're just some things, but also in this, outside of that, your answers have to make sense.
Good, I get that.
All right, so you're gonna go outside what we talked about. Some of you made some excellent suggestions when we did talk about that. But it needed to make sense. Name 5 HR management business strategies, contributors that add value to HR management as a strategic partner in the organization. We had answers like, what I put down here, I had put down things like enhancing organizational performance, involvement in strategic planning, decision-making, redesigning the organizational processes, financial accountability, you got to be accountable, expanding your human capital, attracting and retaining human resources, and developing human resources, identifying and rewarding performance. There's some things, it was quite a bit of stuff you could have put there. And then lastly, define HR management. It's a strategic, and that's right in the textbook. That means y'all didn't read the book. So on that page, it's a strategic approach to the effective management of people. I look for 2 key words there, strategic approach and management of people.
Management of people.
So why did I get my 5 points?
I don't know.
Those 3 more points.
No.
I
A strategic approach, give it to yourself. A strategic approach to the effective management of people to help the business plan gain a competitive edge.
Yes, right.
And you're maximizing, and it maximizes or helps to maximize employee performance. Okay, key things happening there. When you're talking about maximize employee performance, if you put something like training and development, I may have given you a mark. I may have said, okay. If you talked about maintaining a competitive edge, if you said something like that, being aware of what's happening.
Okay, so all those key things, and I get my full points.
You didn't get your full points.
Teaching, I get managing a people, I put competitive edge,
Maybe,
I put developing a people performance.
And maybe your answers weren't complete. I don't know. I was tired maybe, and that's why you didn't get it. What you thought for that? Oh, so
I guess. I didn't get
Okay, strategic role, I have managing of people.
I have the
I
management.
talked about the organization of competitive edge, and the development of people performance.
okay. Okay, so I only gave you 3A. Oh, okay. So I may have missed on that one. I apologize if I didn't give you your full 5 marks. I don't know why.
You was tired. Like
I may have been tired, so that was worth 5 points.
Yeah, I need them 3 points.
You need them. I didn't make a difference in your grade. That's why I don't get papers back. Yeah, it does.
And I see something else, maybe we'll talk, this is a lot of stuff too.
But what I.
And you can tell the difference in the pen. No.
So what I want you to do, look at those answers, have them as your reference point for studying the correct answers as we go forward, okay? So that's it, that was the exam.
So tell me something, what's the grading system here? What is the 60%?
I actually just printed it
Is that
again.
B, C, D, what? That's what's going on.
What it is?
What-
It's 60, 0.
You mean in the exam, the total when you get,
Yeah.
the total, that's like a C.
It is.
I think it's a C, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a C.
yeah. 60, yeah, you got it really, no one should be getting under 75% in this class, 75%.
I mean, overall,
you-
overall.
you
have the thing, would you say you can? The grade.
No, I don't, no, I have, with this course, I was gonna give you, right. What this course covers and what we are measuring you on. Remember that we're measuring performance.
And a 92 is a B. I
Hello,
just need to tell you all that. A 92 is a B.
yeah. You, this type of work, you really should be getting in the high, nobody should be getting under 75, to be honest with you.
My answer, I would have been good if I.
You'd be good at it.
My answer, I lied.
Right now, I
Remember-
just want them to try to bring up my score. I don't know that.
You have 20 points for participation, listen to me. You have 20 points participation in a group research and an oral presentation of findings. You have a final written exam of 40 points. Participation in discussion polls, that's gonna be one of the last assignment, which we will do. I won't bother with that tonight, but we will get that next week, or I may send it electronically, a discussion point. Basically, you put up a question and you respond. You come next week, so I gotta make sure you get that this week.
Something afterward.
Okay. Make it work. We have to short. So each of those quizzes will worth 10 points each. And that's we did the 2 guest speakers. We've had active class discussions. So y'all okay? No, you keep straight.
No, y'all are stressed. All I'm saying, okay. Stress free.
The mindset, you could be okay. You gotta have to work it out, but you could be okay.
I would ask you, it's not give you like a makeup assignment or something.
No. Even someone else asked for makeup exam for the group presentation. No. You see, because you see, if I had sprung this on you, before, like I didn't tell you that this was gonna happen, then I
I
could
just
do
did it at the
makeup.
beginning of the class,
Right.
when I did freshly study, I think I would have got a 40 points, but time is all that discussion and all that stuff, everything is then empty out of my
Oh,
brain.
yeah, it is.
6 o'clock is crash time and I've been to work all day.
Oh.
My brain can't function.
All right. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for next time, ma'am.
Beginning of the class, please.
Yes, ma'am. So, but no, moving from here, we're gonna try to finish this course. We're gonna try our best to finish what's outlined in the booklet. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit next week, a little bit about change management. We've done most of the work on leadership, combine a little of that. And then, yeah, that's gonna be basically the main thing. Moving as we try to complete this, okay? So don't, see?
Yeah,
Don't stress.
good.
All right. All right.
Don't forget to send my test group, please.
No, yeah, as soon as I get to my phone, Kendra,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send her my phone either in a little while or when I get home.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem.
I have it right here. You can see online.
Yeah, I can.
If I hold this up,
Yeah, I can see it.
hold on, let me see.
Only one in class.
Hey, Denise,
Deep in the reach.
she coming? Oh,
Let me tell her.
you got. Can you see that? Oh, what I need to do? Can you see it? No? Can you?
The glare.
Yeah. Oh, wait now. You got it?
Oh, I see it, I see it.
Okay, be quiet now. Okay. So Denise and Kendra.
I think I can take that day off, but we have an exam. I can't really.
But you know, a lot of organizations have, oh my, y'all got me ready. A lot of organizations have, they allow study leave days. But 40 points for the last,
Miss Bethel, when is the exam exactly?
the 10th.
That's
It's already just saying not after the 10. You want me to say after the 10?
What's
May
this?
10th, the exam is May.
The final class is,
exam is May 10th, that's my son birthday.
That's right.
yeah.
Right, Friday?
Yeah. Okay, let's rock and roll.
The final class is the third, and so the following week.
The exam
It's
is
on the 10th.
wow.
Okay, understanding the dynamics and developing strategies for stimulating productivity and performance, and we're concentrating on coaching and mentoring. It's session 5 in your textbook, that too. It's session 5, week 6. So look for week 6. Week 6, sorry, look at, week 5. It's week 5.
Section 5.
You mean the
Yeah.
mentoring life cycle?
Understand, yeah, talking with coaching and mentoring is just before that mentoring life cycle.
I have
Diagram.
Week 5.
Yes, session 5, week 5, that's what we're going through right now.
And the case study thing?
Coaching.
No, look, it begins with understanding the dynamic of and developing strategies for stimulating productivity and performance. It's page 1 of session 5, week 5. It's towards the back.
Almost the middle. When
Huh?
you compare the pages, almost the middle.
Oh, okay, it's almost the middle of the book. Everybody got it?
No, mom.
Oh, you sure you don't?
Section 5, week 5.
Yeah.
The V.
Okay. What we want to do this evening is we want to concentrate on coaching and mentoring. And you know that there is a difference of both, okay? You as an HR manager will probably be involved in both. Because if you're running a department, you're going to be coaching. And if you have overall responsibility of the HR, human resources management, the organization, there may be individuals in the organization who you may mentor internally, or externally, you may find yourself mentoring. I want to read what we have here, the statement. I found this interesting as I was preparing. It says, the degree to which I can create relationships which facilitate the growth of others as separate persons is a measure of the growth I have achieved myself. So basically saying you gotta do it yourself before you could pass it on to anyone. Well, even if you're coaching, you have to have excel. When I say excel, conquer that particular thing that you're coaching. That's why you have some employees, they would say to their manager or supervisor, they don't know how to do it. Why should I? It's unfortunate. But like I explained to you when I went into NIB, it was a totally different culture. Mrs. Carol, she basically had to guide me through some new ways of how an NIB operates. And it wasn't until I was there I understood that there is a difference. There's a major difference between NIB as an employee, okay, versus NIB as administrator of the security system of the country. And they're two separate entities altogether. And I had overall responsibility of both. It was a whole learning curve. So she was able to mentor me for a period, even though I was her supervisor. And sometimes the roles do switch like that. Okay, because at the end of the day, I had more experience in so many other things, but NIB was such a specialty area that unless you work in there, okay, you wouldn't even understand basic concepts and practices. And that's the problem that we still have in the country. People do not understand the rules, the laws which govern NIB as the security system of the country. So that was a learning curve for me. And then the second part of this statement here, it says, the people who guide look to you for behavioral cues and messages as well as formal instruction, direction, and coaching. You must expand your level of awareness and recognition of how your attitudes, your beliefs, your behaviors, activities, and appearances influence your followers. Then, when you do that, you will not run the risk of influencing by accident. And when you influence by accident, it ain't always positive. And this was adopted as expressed here from the Heart of Leadership, which is a textbook a lot of HR professionals read. So let's begin. What is coaching? Everyone just write down and write down the same, write that page right there. Don't look at nothing else.
Page
Just
number 2?
right, yeah, page number 1. I don't want you to look at 2 yet. Just go to 1. Just put down what is coaching. What are your thoughts as related? And I don't want to Google enough now. Just that's what are your thoughts as relates to coaching? Yeah.
You want us to say?
Yeah, what is coaching?
You ready?
No, I
Oh,
want you to
write it.
write down what's your understanding of what is coaching. Why is this not? Ah. Stay connected. Kendra, I sitting tonight, so you ain't saying much of me.
That's no problem.
All right. Only when I stand up, you're gonna be able to see me. Have any of you been coached at any point in time in your career? Never? Wow. Any? No, but not necessarily. I any other thing. Yeah, any other thing. You've been coached? And
Yeah.
Okay.
At RBC, they did a good job. Yeah,
Oh,
RBC is very good. They got
Okay.
Trust me, it's a very good company.
I get coached in church.
You get coached at church.
Yeah, it's my coaching.
The mother's stomach. Yeah,
Yeah,
they push.
You got church now?
Your bishop?
I go to something up there.
Okay. Okay.
I just came up my fast.
Okay. Hallelujah, Jesus.
My friends look at the other way.
Who's that? Oh, Wendy.
I love that word.
Okay. So what is coaching? What is your, what have you written down? What's your understanding of coaching?
Okay.
I said, coaching is to develop the skills and strengths of an individual and to mentor them and encourage them to achieve their goals and to to do great work.
Excellent, very good. Very, very good. Can't wait for you to take this class. Anyone that would like to add to
Sure,
that?
the act of coaching is the teaching an individual to learn and master a task.
Yes, that's good as well. To learn and to master a task. Yes,
That too.
yes, yes.
No, it's very good.
Very good as
Yeah,
well.
that was true.
Anyone else?
Did he say yours? Because I like that.
The master.
Teaching
Master
an
class.
individual to learn
And master
a
a
task.
task, yeah. There's two keys that differ added to what you have put there.
I think for me, coaching is basically, I guess, well, I can say, anyway, you coaching, you helping somebody to reach their full potential.
Okay.
That's how I feel about coaching, because like they said, mastering the tasks, right? Um, The person may feel like they can do this particular task, but you know, like coach, you sit down and you say, well, you know what, think about it, you did this particular thing. All you have to do is tweak this a little bit and so on and so forth. So basically, you helping them to reach, I feel you helping them to reach their full potential, coaching.
And in a particular skill set or particular area,
Mhm.
you've to reach their full potential in that particular thing. And what the thing is, you gotta remember that when you're dealing with coaching, you're not taking necessarily the entire individual life, their activities, but it in most instances
To
concentrate-
challenge and support them also.
okay. It focuses on one specific thing at a particular time, and they're maximizing their full potential in that particular area. Kendra, what you said?
I said
Kendra?
to challenge them and support them at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes coaching, yes, and especially in sports. And if you see those swimmers, I don't know if any of you had relatives who are on that swim team. If you've ever been, if you've ever been to watch swimming and the relays, swimming relays, or just swimming down at the pools at the sports center, that's one place you can learn very quickly what it is to coach. Because they're always setting challenges, bigger stretch goals. But you're there to support them. What's that?
Look for my baby is one of the future swimmers, because that's what she does now. She's a competitive swimmer.
Wonderful, awesome.
She just started a year ago, so she wasn't able to qualify yet, but.
Next year she'll be on that team.
Yeah, he's there.
QC maybe. It's the latest tear
Okay, so
and
you showed
everything.
that.
That's I went to nationals.
that.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
so impressed.
Okay, and the thing is that the coaches are there to support. That's where that's where I have seen exceptional coaching.
Yes.
Baseball, I see a little of it as well. Okay, turn over to page 2. On page 2, it's that and some of you have tapped into it, and it gives you a definition. And remember what we said about HR. HR, in this class, we're talking best practices or best examples or their definitions, but it's not just, it could be a little more sometimes. So let's look at this: developing a person's skills and knowledge so that their job performance improves, geared to the achievement of the organizational objectives. Now, that's a very important statement at the end there, where it says get to the achievement of organizational objectives. If you have, and you see this a lot in banking and probably investment banking, or Molly, if that organization has said they're going to turn over how much billion of dollars they're going to turn over, that's an objective that is set. And you, I forget, I can't remember all the different areas, but basically, you got to coach. If you all have overseen that area, you got to mentor, and you got to help those employees to reach that and achieve that. All right, well, your head, you get
You have to be like a cheerleader for that employee,
exactly,
leading and guiding them in their future goals or objectives.
exactly. And so when they set their goals, everyone in that team have to contribute to meeting $10 billion. Okay, right. So coaching involves conducting a purposeful conversation focused on one or more challenges or outcomes, stimulated by insightful and probing questions, rather than directly offering answers and solutions. And that's a key point. And when we do the slide presentation, we'll have an opportunity to explore that a little more. Whereas mentoring here says is where a more experienced person uses their greater knowledge and understanding of the work or workplace to support the development of a less experienced employee. Mentoring is used as a form of long-term development for the individual, which brings benefits both to the organization and to the individual. Now, when I reviewed this, I said, how do the simplest way for me to explain this is that mentoring is long-term. You may not see the results, all the results, expected results, right there, but over time, you will see the improvement in that employee attitude, behavior, their approach to problem solving. This happens as a result of being able, not just coaching, but being there to support them and to be I don't want to say the foundation, but what is a good color? Be the bedrock,
Stepping stone or pillar.
right? To helping them, like to achieve the expected goals that they may have set personally. Whereas a coaching is that you take in, let's say, one task, for example, and you are leading by example, okay? Whereas mentoring, they are solving their own problems. They are making more of the recommendations of how to address something or how to get through this.
But you meant how to do that.
Well, the answer, and this is it, the answer comes from the individual. Okay, so with mentoring, you don't tell them what to do. Whereas with coaching, you're telling and showing. Okay, and that is the fine line between those two.
So in mentoring, you're just helping guide them.
You're
You're not
guiding,
telling them what to do,
right,
you know?
right. Okay, so let's turn.
My friend does that. She's really good at what she's doing. When I call her and I trying to get solutions, she said, no. You do it. And then I'll tell you if you need to fix a little something here and there, but I'm not doing it and I'm not showing you and I'm not telling you how to do it by yourself.
Right,
I speak, you know.
because when you come with the solution, if the person, right, but if you, let's say this is you and you come up with your recommended solution, but I would like to, let me try this, okay? And then you as the mentor, let's have you considered, what about, have you thought about? And so you are mentoring them to come up with improved ideas of how to achieve it.
So coaching is more short term, like it's just direct and quick.
Yes,
I mean,
it
like,
could be long too, but it's short term. Mentoring
Okay.
is long term, a long term approach to achieve the goals that desired results that you
is
want.
this a part of like the performance management process or like, do you have an evaluation or something? An employee don't have a good evaluation, so
Uh-huh.
you help this employee.
You do coaching more for that,
Okay.
to achieve those goals or those, to close those gaps that exist. You do more coaching for that type of activity once weaknesses or have been identified in a performance appraisal.
Okay.
And then what you can do, and it depends on the type of work, you can assign or get someone to help mentor them
Okay.
to build that confidence. Okay, to probably, let's say, I was just saying, there's a group, take them. If let's say you work at a hotel and you work in banqueting, I don't know if they call it banqueting now. But the last time you worked, you didn't set the table properly. Okay, now I can coach you how to set that table properly. Okay, the next time, so you then don't make that mistake. I can demonstrate and have you do it. However, I don't want just learn if I'm working in the banqueting department, not just how to set a table. I want to be exposed to probably decor. I want to be exposed to room configuration. So I'll take you along with me to show you and to expose you to these other activities so that your whole vision of that is bigger. And then
Okay.
you understand how it all works together.
It's more grungy.
Right, and to bring the results that you want.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's look at it says here, page 3, go to page 3. It gives a mentoring life cycle. Here, stage 1, it begins an initiation, rapport building. In other words, we're talking, having a conversation. Stage 2, getting established and nurturing phase. Okay, I'm taking you along with me to see how things are done, expanding your vision and understanding of it. Stage 3, maturing and developing independence. You'll soon find if I'm mentoring you, when I say properly, but over a period of time, I may not just want to go with you. I may go with some other managers, or I may go and visit a banqueting exposition or a conference on my own. Okay, so that's where the independence, the confidence is growing and building. And the stage 4, okay, you done exposed, I can terminate our mentoring. You're doing good now. You are participating and probably you're leading others. So you could terminate after a period of time that mentoring approach that you may have. That's the cycle it's explained to here. So when you go over to page 4, let's look at page 4. It gives you a table there that shows the difference between coaching and mentoring. And let's look at it carefully. Coaching is the non-directive form of development. Okay, whereas mentoring is a supportive form of development. Coaching focuses on improving performance and developing individual skills. And all of you have talked about that already. You said it's a task, it's a skill set that you're wanting to improve. Whereas mentoring focuses, in that particular instance, focuses on helping an individual manage their career and improve their skills. All right. Number 3, emphasis on work performance and not personal issues. That's what coaching does, in the workplace. Remember talking about coaching out in the workplace. But on the mentoring in that aspect, it says personal issues can be discussed more productively. Sorry, where we discuss more productively. Wow. Like in coaching, where emphasis is solely on or mainly on performance. And you talk to performance management, so you see that where the coaching comes in there. 4thly, coaching provides people feedback on their strengths and weaknesses. And activities have both organizational and personal goals, whereas in mentoring, activities have both organization and individual goals. You see it's a wider scope. And I found that was very, 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 very interesting. Go over to page 5. Okay. Key benefits of coaching. There are a lot of positive incomes that are identified here. There's increased productivity, ownership, and responsibility. There's sustained improvement in performance over time, clarity and direction, and increased motivation. These are some benefits. I'm going to do, we're going to go to a presentation which gives a little more explanation and definition of coaching. I don't know why. Let me pull this up and push it back in. Why no signal?
Something the road does not want support at the time.
Hmm?
Is anything the road the time has support?
Yeah, if there's some Wi-Fi, but I don't know why we're not connecting.
Where else?
All right. Let me come out of my presentation and let's see.
So it's call me go.
No, just give me a minute. I maybe need to close this. Oh, come on.
Give it back. I'm just gonna close it and see if I come back and, oh, this is on OneDrive, that's what happened. Oh. Spend a lot, twice you do class, I'm gonna give a class of history, a little session on what I had the problem this week. Actually, it wasn't my problem. It was my problem, no. My contact at the Department of Labor, he's like a mentor to me. And he was giving me a scenario, whereas this big company here in the country just hired this new human resource manager, right? She's new to the company, but a lot of the employees she have worked with her before. Now, bear in mind, she's new to the company, but these employees are seasoned employees, but she's new. Now, they are not sure she have personal agenda towards these people, but they know she know these people from her prior job that she came from. Now, she's up and new in this new company and terminating these seasoned employees for little minor infractions. You know, as it relates to the labor law, when you're about to terminate people, there are processes you go through. She's eliminating those processes and firing people. So now when these employees come to the labor board to get their money, the companies don't want to pay, but the labor board tells them you don't have to pay because your human resource manager took it upon herself and fire these people for something that she could have suspended them for and do a simple write-up for. One of the employees who've been with the company for over 15 years and is in a supervisory position, that's going to cost him thousands and thousands of dollars. What happened is he was off on a Monday and Tuesday. During his off day, the Sunday after getting off from work, he got stopped by the police, found a joint in his car, he was arrested. Took his call from the police station to let his manager know that, listen, I'm off tomorrow and Tuesday. I will be out for whatever amount of hours, but I will be to work on time for Wednesday. He didn't have to tell them anything, but out of respect for his job, he made them aware that there might be, the police might decide, no. He let them know. So when he returns to work, the HR manager takes it upon herself and fire this man. Wow. Okay, embarrass him, fire him for his personal things. Oh, she said, oh, it's against company policy. He was not at work. He was not at work. No, it's not written. That's what the guy from the Department of Labor said. It's not in his handbook. It does not speak outside of company hours or outside of work.
Let's speak to our handbook.
They have their handbook.
Handbook.
But see, everybody handbook is different. He said, had the handbook spoken to
Can
that,
we see the board?
she was within her rights.
Yeah.
But the handbook does not speak to their time, their personal time off from work.
Hold on, so she dismissed him from the incident that took
She didn't
place
see, yeah,
or-
because
because he didn't come to work?
she dismissed them because he got locked up for jointness.
Okay, all right.
That has nothing to do with her.
Ain't gone to court, ain't get arrested, ain't do nothing. He just made them aware, like I said, he didn't have to tell them,
He got
Because
arrested.
he had his job.
Because he was in jail.
No,
He
but
was
he was in
vice
charge.
No, he was in
It's
charge
not
when
a
he got
defense,
arrested.
he's not charged, he ain't going to court.
But I still
was
feel it may not be,
Still was
I
arrested.
think now the company may.
He said
the
they took the
company was negligent for not mentioning that in their handbook. But I think they should have the right to terminate you if you end up with a, well, he didn't have a.
Well-
he was charged.
But at the same time, like I
Um,
said, they find a joint in his car. He didn't go to the extent to say, well, me and somebody else was in my car. Or this joint, but matter of fact that it was his car.
Exactly,
Let me ask you
he's
a question.
responsible.
No,
Well-
but I'm just saying.
well, let
it
that-
doesn't
let-
have to do with work.
Let him ask you a question. Go ahead.
ahead.
quickly.
So when this happened, right,
Mhm.
that was off.
Off
And it
duty.
was off duty.
Off
completely.
duty, not at
On
work,
his time.
not on your, in
Okay.
uniform, none of that.
Now,
Not- mhm.
two things. It doesn't speak to any of the labor law, right? It doesn't,
No, it's
okay.
the labor
Now,
laws.
what about the
Company.
employee code of conduct?
Yeah,
contract?
yeah.
It's not in their handbook.
Okay, then. So, right then and there, there's no precedent
She is
for that.
wrong.
She was wrong for that.
Okay, so now let me finish. She called him after she did it, because he said he mentored her also. But she fired him and then called him and asked him what to do.
She fired him and called him out.
She fired him and then
She was hasty. She was hasty.
and called the labor board.
Cost a company plenty money.
And let me,
Plenty.
she is on suspension now.
Oh. She off the tree.
She on suspension now, number one. She fired him, then consulted the Department of Labor. Big mistake.
You consult them first.
She
It's
and
opposite.
did not even consult management.
Right.
She just terminated because she's HR manager.
No, because she has to check on.
She
the
sounded
phone.
like she was.
Yeah.
Really, that's a
Cause like I
person.
said, she works with these people before.
Yeah.
Now she's new to these company and these people are seasoned
Seasoned, yeah.
people.
Mhm.
So she, whatever bitterness she had from that time,
Lighting
she
the-
taking
That
advantage of.
sound personal, that.
So because the labor is telling them now, y'all don't have no rights, y'all don't have no rights. This is the amount of money y'all have for this man. Oh, we want him back.
And
He
he been
said
there
you
for
guys
3
have already embarrassed him.
Thank you.
He does not want to return to your company.
And let him go. Just terminate, it says termination without
They
cause.
sent for the attorneys in the US, the contact the Department of Labor and asked him, what is it that we can do?
To make it
Just
right.
so they don't want to pay him. They say nothing y'all can do,
But
pay
you-
them out.
May I ask you a question? How, let me ask a question. How long has that employee worked with the company?
15 years.
Okay.
That,
But
yes.
supervise
No,
your
no,
position.
No,
I used to take my
No, no,
job
no.
back, let me tell you
No.
why.
no,
No,
that
yes.
you know, yes, according to where the
No.
person worked.
They have
What I
no
am saying
pay.
is
Yes.
One minute, Samantha, 1 minute. No, and seriously, because of time, but seriously, $50,000 is no money.
Thank you
Okay,
very
1
much.
minute. One minute. No, it
I take
isn't.
off.
It really is. Seriously, when you get an HR, that's a little bit of money, okay? She did make an error. That is small. And when you're terminating as an HR manager, you should always consult who you report to before final determination. But I can tell you from experience, okay? And this is what you were trying to allude to. Some employee handbook has that, a policy in there, but theirs didn't have, but they do have a policy. If you're involved with anything with the law, and there's a breach, you can be suspended, you can be terminated or whatever. They have that in there. So she was acting probably on a past thing that she did and not understanding that this one is different. That's she made an error, and let me tell you, you could get fired at least once in your career. All right, I can tell you so. All right, but you learn. But because of time, this is a little long. I don't want to carry that on too much. Okay, but let's go through this. Okay, yeah, we have enough time. We can talk a little bit more about that idea. All right, who are you? I'm asking. Kendra, I hope you heard that juicy thing just now and you learned, right? Kendra, go on in. She on mute. Okay, let's look at this. Who are you? A coach, a leader, or mentor? Or are you all of that? This is a presentation that I did, and I want to do this. Why coach? Who qualifies to coach? And coaching, when look at coaching skills, a coach must master. But who are you? What do you see yourself here? What do you see yourself as? Do you see yourself as a coach? Do you see yourself as a leader? Do you see yourself as a mentor? What does a leader do? A leader basically incorporates all of this and actually executes mentoring and coaching at any specific time, if you see yourself as a leader. And then, like I said, why coach? Who qualifies to coach? And coaching skills a coach must master. I say you must have, but we are suggesting these are what you want to master. What we're going to do here quickly, and this is just, and you can take this down if you want to. What I want to clarify here, the importance of coaching. I want to help us to define coaching. We can expand on the definition that we had a few minutes ago. We're going to look at elements of coaching in a little more detail. And this is why I do these PowerPoints or utilize PowerPoints that I have relating to these topics because of and some of you, before most of you came, we had a discussion about the handbook. It needs to be a little bit more detailed. coaching and leadership. We want to look at coaching and mentorship. We want to look at quickly here coaching skills and techniques that you can do and how you can add value to the organization. And then we want to end up here with coaching best practices. I don't have a handout I'm going to give you. No, you're going to take some notes tonight as we go through these slides so that it gets in. All right. So, yeah, but we're gonna have to go quickly. You can take photos. No, I'm not gonna. No. Okay. This is just our what we're gonna do the agenda of things we're gonna cover. So I'm gonna define. You don't have to. We're gonna go through each one of those.
Let's take it though.
No, I said take notes.
Okay.
Listen to me. Okay. Y'all remind me, boy, young people, y'all exact. But but I know what I said. So let's go. Coaching is based on influence. This is a point important that you should take down. Coach, look at it. Isn't that? Come on, you don't have to take everything, just when you go to university and thing, man, you don't do that. You take down only what you important. You put it recorded. So, coaching is based on influence and leadership. I have here that coaching represents a management communication style that accepts employees as valuable, contributing individuals. And this is a quote from a gentleman by the name of Bob Adams. Okay, so it's based on influence, leadership, and he notes here that coaching represents management and a management communication style that accepts employees as valuable and contributing individuals. You're coaching because you think that they have, as Samantha said earlier, they have the potential to do more. They have the potential to add value to the organization. And so when you're looking at coaching, then you want to look at what we call core values. You want to look at motivation. How are you going to motivate? And I can't go over if y'all want me because because of Kendra, the screen, and here. So I hope y'all can catch it without my head. You want to look at it's communication and the styles of communication, oral and written. It also involves innovation because sometimes you have employees who just can't get it. For whatever reason, there's a blockage sometimes. And it's just one of those things they can't get. There's something we can do at the end or something within the electric slide. I can't do the electric slide to this day. I done gone to a tutorial. I done had my friends teach me, my daughters show me, and I just can't get it. And I like it.
As you like it.
So you got to be innovative of how you're going to teach me to do that tonight. So that's a joke. So learning, it involves team playing, and sometimes you have to get team members to come and assist you with your coaching. Especially if someone does something exceptionally well, you can pull them in, okay, to help you to transfer that skill set and knowledge that's needed. And then it involves customer service. And when we talk about customer service, I want you to think of not just the external customer. I want you to think also of the internal customer. Very, very important. It also involves active listening. And one of the things that you have to do, or I had to teach myself to learn, to show that I am listening, I am paying attention, I am hearing you. Okay, and I want Monique to finish her story. But as I was actively listening to what she was saying, to try to summarize and help to understand that $50,000 no money. 15 years is a long time, but there are labor laws that said that you only have to pay a certain amount. You don't even pay all the 15 years.
And I have an issue with that.
You have an issue with that, yeah. We coming back to this. I have an issue with it too. I've been working for you 30, 15 years. I only could get, I'm just saying, the boundary may be $10,000. That's all the company may be obligated to pay. I'm just using it as an example. if I've been working for you that long and I done made probably over $1 million, you mean this, yeah, and was something in the paper this week about those judgment, how their Chief Justice, what's his name, Michael Barnett had something, I think it was in Monday paper, relating to how outdated and they need to revisit some of the laws of the tribunal. Yeah, and he's the Chief Justice. He said they're outdated, then some of them not relevant, etc. But still, right. And that's what he was encouraging, that the people need to advocate for change to bring about positive change in our labor laws.
And not just labor, all areas of the law.
Mhm.
all areas, they need to come
They're
to
very
the
great.
same page.
Very much so. So, and you have to do an express interest, okay? Now I want you to, for a minute, think back to a time when a great coach made a positive difference in your life or job. Just think for a minute.
Sharon Kiki
Kiki Varakis.
Rackus.
Think back to a time. And they made a difference in your life. You just refer to your bishop. Think about what made them the best coach you ever knew.
Well, one of. So I've had many.
Just think of it. What made them the best?
Yeah, and their approach.
The attitude, their approach. Expressed interest,
Mhm.
humility.
Yeah.
There's so many, positive
Their
things,
passion.
right? Their passion because they love something so much in it.
Yeah.
They're passionate about it.
Their respect.
Respect as well. That's an important one as well.
Yeah.
And you're coaching. And then it says, write down 3 things that made them the best coach and why these attributes were important to you. Let's do that for a minute, because this is going to kick back. You're going to need this information.
So start off from the thing.
I want you to write down 3 things. Okay, you thought about that person,
Mhm.
how they made a positive approach. You've identified what made them the best coach you ever knew.
Mhm.
And now I want you to, and keeping that in mind, write down 3 things that made them the best coach and why these attributes were important to you. So what 3 things and why were they important to you? Henry, you with us? Henry must be gone.
No, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, just checking in. Okay, pull the screen down and put it up back so you can see it. So I want you to do that exercise as well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Coaching is very important.
It is.
Coaching is very important.
It can make or break you, an individual and an organization. No?
No.
You've been mentored?
I lock in the front door, Grammy.
I hear you, my daughter, Rami. So write down 3 things that made them the best coach. Y'all got it? Everyone got it? Do you need a light in the back there? Kennedy? Y'all okay? Turn it back off?
Yeah.
Okay. Janine, what you came up in? What you came up with? You got it? You want to share? Oh, okay.
I can say one, yeah, then make it quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just personal, I was talking to. She was one day, she's like, oh, what's wrong with you?
Speak up, look at here. Sorry.
Really emotional, yeah.
The same Kiki brother.
She is.
I know what is the next thing.
Go ahead, Samantha.
This is my own manager.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot. When they talk about encourages, inspire, and just by the way she carries herself, you know, it speaks volumes. You know, she would be like, for instance, if you happen to see her when she would be like, you know, snap out of it, everything's gonna be fine. What's going on? Let's talk. She will discuss if it's something personal, you can discuss that with her. She uplifts you. If it's to do with work, same thing. You can go on with anything, and she's just awesome.
One.
Right? Like when I first started working where I am, I had just a little, I wouldn't even call it a situation, but just a little something. And you know, I found myself just thinking of what she would do in a situation like that. Excuse me, like I say, you just watch the way she handle things, the way she carry herself, and it speaks volumes.
And she does that privately now.
Sorry?
She does that privately now.
I don't know what she does now.
Okay.
She's an awesome, but I can't even put into words how awesome she is.
Awesome. And that she's made that impact on you.
Yes.
You wanted to say, express yours, Janine.
No, the person she's talking about is one of my best friends, and so I would go to her, and so when parents say this,
Uh-huh.
I tell them, I speak to them, yeah, this is amazing.
The
I mean, she's
impact.
everybody else, I think, that
Uh-huh.
is someone who I share
Admired.
with.
Wow. Interesting.
She's still a lawyer.
Interesting. Molly, you were gonna say, go ahead. Hello.
We're so glad you joined us.
Yes, it's so good to see you. Okay. Go ahead, Molly.
I'll probably know him because he's in media, his name is Jerome Sawyer. For our news.
Oh, yeah.
So many times he wanted to fire me, but he stuck it through with me, and he really brought me to where I was, because I was in journalism at one. So
Oh,
he taught me everything I knew about journalism when we used to work with the Guardian and Cable 12 and Island.
okay.
And I would say that he was a perfectionist, but that he was the best.
Okay.
Two of the things he used to do is he used to push you to go beyond yourself. So say, for example, I had to write a story, and he didn't think it was good. He tear it right up in front of you, tell you right.
Wow.
Yeah, just like that.
Wow.
This time now, you probably spend like an hour just to write that one story. You feel so good about it.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
that's nothing there. And then on top of that, the other thing that he challenged you to do was to think outside the box, to come up with story ideas that would be impactful and beneficial to present to the public.
Wow. Awesome. I'm sure he'd love to hear that comment. Yeah.
did a good job because those.
Mm.
You don't, yeah.
That's interesting.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. That's what she said. It's true.
So he did a good job with you.
Very good.
Mr. Moss.
Okay.
Well, I
married?
can think of someone,
married?
Miss
That's
Bethel.
I got communication.
You did not go there.
No, I said that because like, a lot of men don't
Okay,
communicate.
well,
But when you married, you need to have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
communication.
yeah, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's a good thing for his wife.
yes.
That's why
Okay.
I he's married.
Okay, that is so true. Yes, communication. And that's it. Thank you for that comment as well. Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, I could think of someone. Janine knows this person very well too, because this is one of our former boss. Her name is Takana Clark. Well, her name is, I shouldn't say
Okay.
was Takana Clark. And I can tell you, as a leader, she was a mentor and a coach. And I can say one of the things that I've really taken away from her was she had the spirit of humbleness. And not that I wasn't humble, but I will tell you a situation where we were at the branch one morning having a huddle. And we have two managers, one for RBC, one for FinCo. He's under FinCo. And something the RBC manager wanted to do, but she was like, no, we can probably wait. We don't have to open the doors right now because we wanted to open the door a couple minutes early, the RBC manager. And I will tell you, the RBC manager pretty much undermined her publicly in front of everybody in what she said and how aggressive she was. And like, you don't tell me what to do. I'm the RBC manager and these are my doors. Like, something like that, but it was even more derogatory. And she just took it. And I was like, Miss,
You already have a woman say.
it's right for everybody. And she was like, Denise, because she's the manager and I'm the assistant manager. And I'm like, no, if anything, you even walk out and know what you're dealing with. And she's like, Denise, she said, no, this is not the forum. Because I went over to her. She's like, no, this is not the forum. If that's how she chooses to speak to me, that's fine. I'm going to speak with her once the doors are open. And I can tell you, the RBC team, so did the FinCo team, when that manager carried on that way, everybody walked off the floor and followed her. And she was like, okay, then I'll excuse myself and you can open the doors. We all followed her. Because that RBC manager was nasty. And she already had a nasty attitude. And so she was like, no, you guys stay because, customers have to come and we need to serve the public. And she encouraged everyone to stay. And she went and she spoke to the RBC manager. And when she came back to me, I said, what did you tell her? She said, I think she got the message that it will never happen again. But the mere fact that I wanted to approach this person publicly, you're not going to talk to me this way. But she really, really taught
Set
me
an
humility
example.
because she went to the office and she dealt with that. And I can tell you that RBC manager got the message. Because our other huddle were totally different. I don't know what she told her. She didn't disclose it because she's very confidential.
Right.
But she said, Denise, I dealt with that.
It's wonderful.
And I was like,
So she is an example. Yes,
She right here in the office.
It's a place and time for everything.
Yes.
There's a time and
a place for everything. So,
no,
we're gonna move on. The effectiveness of coaching then is based upon an implicit trust and confidence in the abilities of the employees. And this is Bob Adams again. And basically what your example, which you just gave, you all had a lot of confidence in the person who did not react. You see, as leaders, you act, you never react to situations. Okay, and she acted appropriately because she was coaching indirectly the team on how to handle a difficult situation, how to handle conflict. Okay, and that was that she created, the person did create a conflict
in the open.
in the open, but she coached you indirectly of how to behave in that type of situation.
Do you think some managers just be mental?
Of course, we all be mental sometimes. Let me tell you, we all got bad ways some days.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
When you use the power, it shows you the thing, people that go over the edge, like just to pull the scene and then make you feel like you is some.
You have other mental issues. You do have emotional instability, and some people aren't, and how to handle the people or handle situation because they are the authority at that particular time. So we got to coach some more.
Definitely.
So what some of the things then, these are other elements of coaching. And we went through these already. Communication skills, active listening skills you need to have. You have to be visionary. That manager obviously was visionary. She saw what could happen, and she prevented what could happen from happening by acting and not reacting. Give support when you're coaching, you empathize, insightful and discerning. These are characteristics that, or elements, I say, of coaching that you probably need to glean. Sometimes you have to be insightful and discerning. In closing the gap or the skill gap, it may not be what it appears to be. It may be something deeper. Okay, that you have to recognize for you to move forward with your coaching. You need to be also flexible. One of the things that is the people sometimes, because we're the authority, the senior person, even in a coaching situation, you may take a firm position. Like tonight, I have to take a firm position and minimizing discussion because we have a lot to complete. Okay, so I'm not being as flexible as I probably, and no offense to anyone, as I would like to, because I have a time schedule right now. We got to get to quite a bit. Okay, but when you're coaching, you need to be flexible because there are going to be some days when people they just don't feel like doing it. They just ain't into it. Like, I walk basically every day, and I mean, I some mornings I don't feel like walking, but I had to have to develop a degree of flexibility, not to be angry with myself because I didn't do something. Okay, so you can't be angry with your employees if they're not into it. If you're coaching them and they really ain't into it today, you don't know what's going on in their personal life.
You won't be into it.
And sometimes that's right, exactly, you're right. Exactly. So you want to also be enthusiastic, energetic, and very focused. I put that one focus at the end because if you are not focused on what that skill set and that gap that you need to ensure that the individual need to glean, you can be distracted. So we want to encourage you to be focused as well. And then there's some fundamentals we want to look at here. You want to be truthful when you're coaching. You can't lie you don't lie to people. Be truthful. You didn't get it yet. No, we got to go back over this.
Some people don't like the truth.
And some people don't. Okay, but as a coach, you're now the authority, the one who knows how it's to be done properly. And so you want to be truthful, you want to be fair, you want to be honest, committed, trustworthy. Make yourself available. And by that, I mean, you want to look at your schedule, and sometimes you have to move things in your schedule to accommodate a coaching session, especially when you have deadlines that you have to meet, and they have deadlines they have to meet. You also want to be knowledgeable. So before you can coach, you got to know how to do it yourself and know as much about the skill as whatever it's that you're trying to transfer or improve on. Be very knowledgeable and observant. You got to keep your eyes open. I say you got to even listen with your eyes and not always only with your ears. Now, how you do that, I don't know, but you'll understand what I'm saying. I hope I tried, I went off. I hope this comes up. There's a video I want you to watch here relating to coaching. Okay, let's go back. Why is that jumping? It's interesting. What happened? I had this on OneDrive and I had to go cut back to come back out, and it's not on that now. So I'm not sure this is gonna come up, but it doesn't seem so. One thing when you're not.
There's something with on YouTube.
Yeah,
You just can't pull it up.
I can, but I had it, what you call it, embedded it here so they could come up.
You put it on the red.
Yeah, I had on the red. It's not because it's on what do you I don't know
There's
the
not
tech.
an option on the top of the PowerPoint to just play it.
You mean no? I'm gonna have to come out and go onto YouTube, I guess, to get it. If there's a no. There isn't. I don't know why, because I think it's on OneDrive. I'm gonna,
That's Pepper.
yes,
I don't know what to call this. I have something. I don't know. I want to know if I was wrong for the rest and maybe you can help me
have to go on YouTube,
understand
go back. I listen.
if I right or wrong. So all my career life, I did it on my own. Even though, so for instance, we had a career opportunity came out, it was sent, all the stuff. It was basically setting up commercial portfolio customers. And it was under a childhood friend.
1 minute.
I work in Scotia, but besides this childhood friend, I have other people in Scotia. I haven't utilized it.
You've never utilized your, it seems like, yeah, go.
And so what happened was about last month, really, but last month was my birthday. One of the managers in Scotia opened up.
1 minute, just give one, sorry. Okay. Put it. So we need to.
One night.
Just give me 1 minute, sorry. I
I don't know if I'm wrong.
It's up. That's not it.
He should leave it like this.
Because this is in OneDrive. This is the PowerPoint. These up.
Just because
Which one of these are on the screen? Just give me a minute. That's interesting. We have 3 minutes over. Go back to the slide. Let's finish this. That's so sure right there. We should have been first. Yeah, it's on a different screen. Two. Swing stuff. Interesting. Okay, let's listen to that. Ah. In general. I think it's playing like that, but I don't want to play that way. Okay, pause it. We just pause it. No, we trying to get it in full screen. What did I even press? Well, anyhow, it's gonna play, right? It's playing. Okay, let's leave it there. We this can do. No, it's this. What? That's not what I did. I put it in display. You did it just now, you live. And it will play. Okay. It's gone back in the screen again. This is playing. And all that, notice all that screens. Okay.
They go away on some.
It's something to do with settings. Okay, let's just go back to talking. What's going on?
During up this.
Which one is it? I went to the settings earlier to get in. I closed it down, like the settings. To get back into one try. It just. That's what I'm trying to. Okay. Hold on a second. It's not coming back on the screen. It's not on the screen. Okay. So just press. Okay, It's not playing. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue with the slide presentation, and I'll come back to this. I'll try to figure out what's happening. It's something to do with our settings in the screens. Okay, Dee, you want to go quickly? It's just something that's relating to coaching?
I can say yes or no.
Go ahead, quickly. Okay, hi,
I have
ladies.
a childhood friend who's a manager, senior manager,
1 minute, ladies, 1 minute.
in Scotiabank. Where I work, my assumption, excuse me, not Scotiabank, where
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And
But
so,
what Denise, what I was asking, 1 minute, 1 minute, what, is this related to what we're doing here, coaching, or this is something personal right now? But you need to get it off your chest?
I need to know that I write along the way I can.
Okay, let's go, okay.
And so.
Say to me,
I
all
met
listen,
him
please.
to open a nightclub. I went to the nightclub for my birthday. And we were there, we were having this discussion. He says to me, "You're joking." So what you mean? You say like, you know, so much people has come to me and hit me up asking them to get this commission, blah, 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 whatever. I say, you have it first time. He said, no, how much people is have to go through to get my number, and you have it first time. I say, I give it to you, but you don't utilize it. A training position came up in HR. It's not a guaranteed position, it's just a training opportunity. For 6 months, at the end of 6 months, it's not guaranteed a position. But however, moving forward, let's say a position do open up in the area, you can say, I trained for 6 months, this is what I did. So I call him and I say, Kermit, I say, sorry. But I was just so last year. So I called him and I said, listen, after having the conversation we had in the nightclub, and he said to me, you don't utilize what you have. You're not reaching out to who you need to reach out to in order to move. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. People who don't have these connect, going out their way to get these connect. In my 15 years, I've never used that. Nobody. I've never used everything I've worked for, whatever. Ever. The training opportunity came up. And I called him. I said, listen to me. I said, HR, I said, you saw this would come out. He said, yeah. He said, you could do that. I said, I agree. I believe I can do it. I say, so what's up? You don't want to use you, but I don't want to use you. You say that. That's what I told him, because we on this level where I know him from Scotia, but I know him before Scotia. Okay. So we can talk down to earth. I don't want to use you, but I don't want to use you. At the same time, I was having issues with my department. Prior to COVID, we weren't doing any coaching. Nothing happening.
coaching is a big, big part of our culture. You know, and so we weren't doing like everything ceased during COVID. And so I said to him, I said, like, I haven't done coaching in like 3 years. You know, I say, so I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just here, I feel stuck. Like, what do I do? Like, I want to move, but like, where do I want to go? Like, normally coaching assists you with figuring out what you want to do in the future, how you want to get down, what you need to do to get to where you need to get. You know, he says to me, this was a conversation I had prior to the job. He comes in, he says, reach out to the HR manager. Let her know, okay, this is the case. However, this is what you would like to do. Ask her, whatever. I felt bad because normally there's a chain of command. You know, I have a supervisor, I have a manager, I have a whatever. The thing is, you are appraised on all of these topics already. Like, when you get your appraisal, your coaching sessions, whatever you do for yourself, all this is included in your appraisal. If I haven't had coaching in 3 years, how the hell are you exceeding expectation when you haven't done coaching in 3 years? You know what I'm saying? So I said to him, I said, listen to me. I feel bad. I want to move, but I feel funny. How do I deal with this? What do I do? Because I want this opportunity. You know? So he said, reach out to her. I said, what she said. I reached out to her. And I said, this is the case. Of course, that opened a can of worms because, like I said, coaching is a big part of our training. To know that you haven't done, anybody is, well, my establishment haven't done coaching in years. So no. So of course, that opened all kinds of worms. Like it was trickling down and getting this problems, getting that one problems, getting, and this one.
But you just was being honest.
I was being honest because at the end of the day, I need money. Everything going up. You know what I mean? So, fine. This one calling me, that one calling me, this one whatever. I said, it's just my truth. I'm not trying to get anybody in problems. I didn't tell her about. But I finally reached out to Kurt and I said, listen to me. This opportunity that came up, I said, I want this. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I want this trend. How do I get, I want this. He said to me, look, you want this? I said, I want it, but I don't want it. You don't want it, knowing that I don't deserve it. Huh? I'm not,
You want it,
So wait,
I want it, but
The right way.
I want it the right way. I
Yeah.
don't want it because I know you and you have
Favoritism.
Yeah, but you don't deserve it.
I think I did. Know that there's more people who put in.
Girl, you better stop that, Alex.
I'm like, positive that. You don't want it. You don't want it. If you want it, you don't want it. It's necessary though.
Okay. No, she just have, wait, no, she have morals and she is an Denise.
She's not stepping on anybody. She's not telling any tales on anybody. She's not bringing. So I don't think that has anything to do with morals. Denise just needs to go out and she needs to know that, hey, she is well deserving of it. This is her opportunity. And like everything is about who you know in this life. She's already done 6 years of not onboarding anyone. So
That's it. Denise.
That's it now. They don't know I know her. And you just have applicants. Are you gonna pick me based on just my application or are you gonna pick me because Kermit?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, I've got an exam next door. I, 1 minute. Denise? Hello? Denise? Okay. Denise, this obviously is bothering you. Can we talk about it outside of this? All right, and then you're saying a very important thing. It may be a little more deeper than that, okay? You may not see it, but it could be. So I understand where you are where you're coming from, okay? And you want to be selected on your merit. And we understand that, and that's your core value. That's one of your personal core values, and you don't want to compromise that. But I'd prefer to talk with you outside of this,
I appreciate that.
okay? All right.
Thank you.
All right, so coaching requires managers to direct employees by influencing them, not controlling them. Okay, I'm not sure that's the last, no, yeah. We're gonna move, I might try to come back. I think I know what I have to do. I've been, once this is on OneDrive and it isn't syncing into, what you call the internet, whatever you call them, Wi-Fi. And I open up another screen and we can't get out that screen for it to come together. I'll figure it out in a little while. Okay, but let's go because we got a short time and I can't believe it's 8 o'clock. So coaching requires managers to direct employees by influencing them and not controlling them. We don't want Kermit controlling you. Make sure you select the right people for your organization. Okay?
I'm telling you.
This is so, ladies, this is so important when you're coaching, because you see, if you bring people into the organization who aren't willing to be, who aren't teachable, that's the word I want to use, you have problems. So it comes back to recruitment to a certain extent, which you all had some extensive work and understanding how recruitment works. So you have to select the right people for your organization and find out what is right. Focus on keeping these people. And how do we do this? One of the ways you do this is coaching. Focus on improving by focusing on improving their performance when the bar is being raised. Okay? Performance, and this is why I said I'll talk to you, but it's your performance is what you should be measured on and promoted on and evaluated on. Okay? And these are fundamentals. My pastor tells every Sunday he gets and says, repeat, I will have unusual favor, unusual blessings, okay? I will have divine favor. You got a little favor, but there's a lot sometimes you got to be careful in the work arena that comes along with that favor. So focus on improving performance when the bar is being raised. The bar is being raised, so we'll come back to that in our conversation. Focus on accountability to ensure that expectations are met. And when you're coaching someone in the workplace, one of the important things that you are ultimately accountable to ensure that the expectations which are centered around closing the gap, okay, the gap, the task and closing that and making sure that employees learn all the skills and gather all the skills that are needed. And you have to be accountable for that. And how do we do this? You do this by focusing on developing what we call leaders. Okay, that's important. So you have the first question when we began is how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a coach? Do you see yourself as a mentor, or do you see yourself as a leader? Ultimately, when we're coaching, we are developing leaders with the appropriate skill set to do the job and to perform at a high quality. Some other things that you want to do, you want to build rapport. We talked about you want to have empathy. We talked about that briefly. You want to empathize with them, put yourself in their position, and you want to have listening skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills is also very important. Because you're going to have some problems that you're going to encounter when you're coaching people. And so you want to know how to solve that problem, be flexible and supportive and be enthusiastic. A coach guides to what I call solutions. Okay, a coach guides to solutions, and a coach is focused on results and focused on people. So when you're coaching and you're acquiring new skills, you want to ensure that the individual or individuals you're coaching acquire the results that were intended to be acquired in the time that you had allocated for coaching. Do not be distracted. Focus on those things and the person involved. So Remember developing people, here are some thoughts that you want to include in your coaching process. Have clear expectations and clear goals. You don't go into the session guessing what you're gonna do, you know. Have clear expectations and you discuss that with them. In the next 6 weeks, I expect, or we expect, that you will be able to do ABC. So you and the person know that no one's wasting their time. If you're doing an hour per week, okay, at the end of 6 weeks with 6 hours, you should have acquired this particular skill. So you want to make sure that those expectations are very clear. Their clear goals have been set. You want to make sure that you're accountable by giving regular feedback I have here and acknowledging the results that are attained. Recognize achievements is very important. Everyone likes a pat on the back. Everyone likes, you know, okay, good job. But you know, to have some type of feedback, and it doesn't always have to be positive. And many say positive, well, you're doing excellent. No, feedback could also include making recommendations or suggestions as to how to move forward. And you want to observe and monitor your relationship. Be careful you don't go over the line, okay? Be very careful. And I suggest, I said, be careful where you're coaching. Make sure it's always in a when I say public place, don't get locked up in no room with no one. Basically, that's what I'm saying, okay? Know your team members well enough to help them and give direction and to build what we call comfortable relationships. You got to know when to go the other way. Those who are ready for personal growth and development, I have noted here, are the ones who benefit most from the coaching. There's some people who don't want to learn, and you got to accept that, all right? Don't be surprised by it. No matter how good that relationship with them, they don't want to listen to you. You go find, especially culturally, they don't think you ain't know nothing. You got to keep those things in mind. Who gave the example? The bank manager. She felt that we all want all of that. Y'all were below her. So that's why she behaved like that. But not to say that it was right, obviously. Clear your mind. When you go into the coaching session, here's some things you need to do. Clear your mind, I have noted here, and focus on the session. Clear your mind and focus on the session. Define specifically what the coaching session will cover and the time it's going to be involved. Time is important to people. You tell me we're going to work on this for 45 minutes and then you take me to an hour and a half. Ain't that mad? Okay. Yeah, so you got to make sure that, you know, you say the time that's going to be involved. You want to choose the most productive location for the session. Okay, be careful with that. Okay, you can't have too many distractions. Be careful of those distractions. Inform the employee of the time and the place and be relaxed and cordial. Don't make them feel like they've been punished. Okay, a lot of people, most people, I still believe in the job, want to learn and improve and do better. And remember, we're coaching to improve performance. We want to enhance the skill and refine the skill. So at the end of the day, we can meet the expectations of the organization. So you want to make sure that everyone is relaxed and they're cordial. So I have noted here, relax and perform to the best of your ability. Trust your own ideas and judgment and be honest and open. And one of the things you want to, as if you're the employee, this is how the employee prepares themselves, okay? And this is what you probably need to share with them if you're on the other side. Be honest and open. Avoid people being defensive. Like I say, some people don't want it, but they build up a wall. And you could sense it. You know, at the beginning I said you have some type of discernment so that you can pick up and right, something you can feel it. Yes, you can sense it. So you got to get rid of that barrier. And you do that by helping to relax. You tell a joke. Probably you be careful what type of joke you're telling as well. It's easy.
No.
So, but you want to relax and perform to the best of your ability. You want to trust your own ideas. So if you're the employee, trust yourself. Okay, that the ideas that you're coming up in the coaching session is also worth something. You want to be honest and open. I really don't feel comfortable with this. I don't know how to, I don't want to, I can employ, I don't want to do this. But as the coach, you got to say, well, this is something you need to perfect to be able to move forward. Okay, and avoid being defensive. Set a specific time period and length for the session, define and agree on the coaching topic and the specific goals of the session. So when you're going to coach, you, the employee, and I don't want to say the employer, but you, the employee, and the coach, that's the word I want to use, the coach, you all have to agree. It's not all about you. So one of the things you want to set some expectations and make sure that they're agreed on the goals at the end of the session or the end of this period. We're going to agree on what we want to achieve. Then this is how you get buy-in. And when you get buy-in, people participate more in the activity. Okay? You participate more in the activity. And understand, I have here, begin with an opening question, okay? Define the employee's understanding of the task at hand and the boundaries within which he or she has the authority to act. What we're saying here is, well, what I'm saying here is, ensure that the employee understand why he or she is here. And understand what is the skill set or that you are trying to achieve, for them to achieve. Also, we talked about this already. Listen, attend actively, offer support or knowledge, understanding of the response, probe again in the direction that you want the self-discovery process to head. In other words, remember we said earlier that people buy into solutions when it comes from them, more than you dictating to them what it should be. So you want to ask questions to probe, okay, into something where you're getting the answers and helping them to understand what is happening and why you're doing the coaching session. And I have noted here, repeat the process until the employee reaches the desired conclusion or leads to an alternative approach that you may not have considered, but you can accept. Remember now, especially in customer service related areas, people who work on the floor have all the answers in most instances because they're having more of the interaction with the customer. But your skill as a leader and as a coach is to get them, okay, to be truthful, to be honest, and to think, well, we always say outside the box, but think bigger than what they are faced with, okay? Let them explore alternatives and options and make recommendations of how to close this gap, which you may not, as the coach, have even thought of. All right. And I always say, especially in customer service related areas, that those who have the daily face-to-face interaction with the customer, they have the answers in most instances. So you want to also give recognition and agree on a next step plan during the coaching when you reach a certain stage in the coaching process. Actively listen to employees, establish open lines of communication, give feedback, be patient, and conduct follow-up sessions. I want you to get those 4 points there and make sure you understand that as a coach. I want you to actively listen to the employees when you're coaching. It's not all, don't make it a one-sided thing. You want to establish open lines of communication. We want to give feedback. We want you to be patient and conduct follow-up sessions. Basically, when you've coached someone, or you're coaching someone, there needs to be some type of follow-up. You got to check on them periodically to ensure that they're doing it correctly. So that's my 2 cents. I'm not going to go on the other half of this, but that's my 2 cents as it relates to coaching, our coaching advice. Any questions on that?
Can you just go one slide back?
Certainly.
Right there.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try still see if I can get that video, but I think I'm gonna have to close this, go out completely, et cetera, but I want us to go to page 5. Correction and discipline at the bottom of page, sorry, not page 5, page 6. There's the Shaw coaching framework. This is another simple diagram that talks about a certain framework. I've given you some, and this is another one for y'all. You could set the context. That's basically what I've done there with those slides. Understand the situation and basically understand what you're coaching or what are the expectations. And you do actions to resolve whatever the issue may be, okay? And then you establish actions. Now, this is when you're dealing more or less coaching as it relates to discipline, okay? It's a little different from the skills side of coaching. So, and it's called the Shaw Coaching Framework. At the bottom, it says that the foundation of correction and discipline is built on policies and procedures. An HR role is one of policing, monitoring, and reinforcing policies and procedures. So, turnover. Sorry? Page 7. Why do organizations have policies and procedures, and what benefits do they bring? You would probably, you may have read up to this when you're doing your research, but let's just go quickly through it because this ties into a discipline. Policies, guidelines that regulate the way that things are done. They reflect the bigger issue and guide decision-making. And then on the upside, procedures provide a framework for dealing with day-to-day matters in an organized, consistent way. And these drive action. Now, turnover, okay, this is all policy and procedures as it relates to discipline. Okay, that's what the discipline, what we're talking about. Okay. Go to page 8. It talks about examples of policies. You have discipline policies. You have driving at work policy, maybe. I don't know. We have so much of that here. Customer care policy, fire safety policies. You have training policies, and you have stress management policies. If you go, how some of these may be included in your employee handbook. Okay, especially the ones that employees really need to be aware of. And then it's giving us an activity of a training policy and the action plan. Now, you say, well, how does this relate to coaching? It relates to coaching because when you have your action plan as what needs to be achieved, by when it needs to be achieved, by who it needs to be achieved by, and resources that are needed. Once you've identified that, your action plan, then you can go into your coaching to achieve that particular goal. You all understand what's happening there? You sure? Not really. Okay, let's go to the first one. Let's think of a training policy. Come on, give me something. A training policy may be that within the first 6 months, all new employees will be trained on how to answer the phone or relative to, give me one of your companies. I'm just saying Asset International Standard. Okay, what was yours? What your hotel was? What breeze?
Tropical breeze.
Tropical breeze, according to the standards of tropical breeze. That's a training. The policy is that within 6 months, any employee entering the organization will, within 6 months, must be trained, will be exposed to, should know how, however you want to build, how to answer telephone calls according to the standards set out by Tropical Breeze International, US, what you call it? What do you know? Tropical Breeze Hotel, the all-inclusive property. See, everyone, and we may look at that. Hey, you give the whole 6 months, yeah, they gotta practice it, they gotta be.
A lot of people don't know how to answer the phone.
And they don't. And you will have certain, on the procedure, see, when you don't write the policy, you will now write the procedure of how that is to be done.
Yes, today.
ABC company.
Yeah. How that's to be done. And then your action plan will then say what needs to be achieved, which is they need to answer the phone. By when? Within 6 months. By whom? All new employees. And the resources which are needed to do that.
The phone and the way to do it.
The phone and maybe a coach. Resources. You understand it? Okay, so let's do one. Driving, no. Let's say we haven't done none but fire and safety. You're okay with that one, or you want to do a training one?
No, ma'am.
Do a fire and safety.
Fire and safety, what? Okay, let's write out a fire and safety, something relating to health and safety, a fire and safety policy. Everyone wants you to write that down
And follow the same guideline.
and follow this guideline, what we have here. Okay, write out your policy, then you go write out the procedure, and then you're going to do the action plan. Oh, turn the light on, any light in the back, they say they don't fall asleep. You good? No, I can't see you all. You're all falling asleep at the back there. Okay, yours one all good, you good. And
We're writing it with fire and safety and we're using our
Yep.
policy and procedure guidelines on page 7.
you're establishing a policy as relates to fire and safety. You're writing out the procedure of how you're gonna, that's gonna take place. And then this is the action plan that you can use that there to say what your action plan is gonna be. And then you can we'll go to the coaching. What is happening here? It's on to another screen. This is so funny.
Well, I've read combo.
Bring her home to figure out that's something to do with the display. Probably keep me up for the next hour. Oh, you want me to finish? When you finish, we finish. You ready to go away?
Stuff down? We're gonna do the sliding.
Yeah. Smile. Then go home and figure out the display and I'll show that at the next class is something to do. The setting. That's what happens when you embed videos in it. If your display is in status problem, it's not gonna show it. Give 3 to 5 more minutes? No. Who said no? I give you 3 more minutes. Some people are still working on it.
But we follow an action plan, right?
Pardon me?
We're already on page 8, following the action plan, right?
You have, no, in all seriousness now, you have selected
Yes.
policy, Yeah, fire and safety policy.
I thought it was
You
just an
write out- No, you write out the procedures for that policy. And then the last, that's the easiest thing to do. We can do that in a minute, the action plan.
Yeah.
All right, so your policy, you all do what I asked you to do. Y'all don't play with me. The exam coming up.
You know, I can't.
I give you a few more minutes. So seriously, you need to practice. You need to do.
I think I do that.
Yeah.
It's a policy.
I give you three. Make sure you have your policy.
Policy. We
Ms.
ain't doing
Bella,
this, we doing a
Pardon me?
policy. Policy.
No, please, let's just give the others the opportunity to finish. Please, 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 please. Remember, you have 10 points, you got 12 points for participation. Y'all don't ever forget that.
But I always participate. That's the better than the better.
Kendra, you still there?
Yes, ma'am. Working on my procedures.
Thank you, Kendra.
You're welcome.
Did everybody sign it? Sit in that?
Two people up inside. Who didn't sign the register?
Yes, no,
Thank you.
Okay. Don't correct me. Don't interrupt me.
Same music, sure.
Okay. So you all like to come on this class already? It's raw pay.
Don't take no break.
I know, so that's what. You got 15 minutes for me. Is your what? Yeah, I do. And then here's getting cold. I do have your full attention. Okay. Any questions about what you've done? Crystal, you good?
I get it right, I know.
Okay, we'll go. For it. Go for it, Crystal, let's go. Come on, Crystal, let me have you come up and. Okay, we gotta talk a minute for your assignment as well, so just go, Crystal. Yeah, listen, sorry.
I have every employee must participate, read, and adhere to the rules and regulations of the policy. And take a 6 months training session, all employees inclusive of the directors. Now, I don't know, I got that wrong. That's-
All employees, the employees.
that's it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Inclusive of the directors, CEO, the some CEOs don't participate in training. And COSA. What needs to be achieved, every employee must have. See what I write, have acknowledged. What did I write? I don't know what I write. Every employee must have acknowledged and read the policy. And then I have by when annually or annually meaning it will be, it has to be done annually ad hoc. Like, sorry, that's not what I was supposed to say. By when, okay, I must see, I interpret that wrong. I interpret that wrong.
Go, you're probably there, go on.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, so I'm saying at any time, meaning when the action planning, like when there will be a fire drill or whatever for employees, I don't know how I get there. But by whom the fire department and management and staff with resources are needed, the fire department informational handbook, read and acknowledged. And a fire drill exercise will be done by all employees. By the entire staff, so I don't know, I got a lot of, I think I did not write a lot.
You get the same, yes, thank you, teach.
Yeah, I think-
We need a few more points to add to it, but let's see here. Let's see what you have.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if it's much.
No, let me.
Okay. So the-
Then you have to be happy.
I have, well, everyone to aspire to safety. The policy is that all staff members must know how to operate at least one fire extinguisher that is posted through the building. The procedure is to set up a demonstration with a fire and safety agent to showcase hands-on to staff how and when to use the extinguisher.
That's good.
Okay, no, that's not a procedure. That's an activity of the training activities, okay? Who have procedures? Anyone have? something?
Teacher,
You wanna share with your?
Go on,
procedures?
go on
Someone
with
to
your-
share?
You chair, you want the whole book.
Procedure, give some examples of the
some
procedures,
examples.
and then
Okay.
I'm gonna come to that.
I just have a basic review. My procedure in the event the fire alarm goes off. Employees should lock their computers, grab their bags, and head to the nearest exit.
Oh,
that's
the
okay.
Employees are to meet at the assembly point. Where the attendance will be taken by the fire marshal
in the case I mentioned earlier, coming up in here, is the office manager. Now, everyone will be accounted for, no one enters the building until the Thanksgiving.
Great, okay, y'all got it now?
Yeah.
It's the
What
action
happened?
that
Yeah.
to carry out the
Procedure.
the policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's the actions, the things that you do. That's all it is. You just write it out, bang, 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 bang. This is what should be done for this to happen.
Okay.
Okay, that's what a procedure is all about. That's why I wanted to emphasize that. Anyone else wanna?
Let's get a good
Or
quality.
Diane wanna go? Okay, Diane, go ahead.
No.
Listen, Denise, sorry,
All
keep going,
employees
Diane, sorry.
must use exit stairwell during emergency evacuation procedure to the rendezvous point. That is so that who's ever incoming.
I don't need your explanation. I just need your procedure. Tell me what you're
All
gonna do.
employees must use the stairwell during evacuation procedure to the rendezvous point.
That's the policy.
Okay,
And be sure.
I have another one item here, yeah.
now that's the policy for fire and
Safety.
safety.
Right.
Okay, so what is your procedure? Your procedure would be perfect examples that we had here. Lock your computers. What is the second thing?
You get probably by head to the narrative.
Use the stairwell.
Use the stairwell. Okay, use the
Because you
stairwell.
have to
and
make
what-
sure. I try to go to the.
Elevator.
Elevator. Right, then
Yeah,
you
that's right.
try to make it-
Front doors, right, the front doors.
Then you work on
Documents.
Fires, they come in
Fire
front doors, so
cabinet.
they want stuff.
So they don't get burned.
If the building burning down, burn the
Bang everything.
Gotta put them in the fire. She's gotta put
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
them-
I have one, fire on the outside policy, all employees in the event of a fire, all employees must have extension 1 and say the code for fire, which is number 2. And then say where is it located and find the nearest fire extinguisher. And based on the response of the dispatcher, you would either extinguish the fire or run to safety.
Excellent.
That's policy or procedure.
That's actually, she's going over the procedure.
That's procedure.
That's what I'm saying, that's policy, that's the point.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
yes, so what is the policy?
What is the policy?
To respond, okay, to respond to a fire, a fire call,
On
which
the
one?
fire on the outside.
On the outside, responding to fire. Okay, so how would we put it? Employees? Or in the event of a fire
On the
on the outside, employees should call the dispatch,
Extension 1.
extension
That
one.
was section
That's your policy. Okay? And then everything else that you said after that is the procedure, how to do it, what to do after you acted or carried out, executed that policy.
That's a nice.
Okay.
Policy.
Yeah.
Direct and to the point.
Yes, very, very, so, yes.
Yeah, I like how she say on the outside, because people think fire on the staff.
Yes, that's true.
But all the
Policy and procedure.
like you're doing an action, like it isn't like a written policy.
That's a policy.
I mean, like it isn't written like. what
No,
it
all
should-
policy will be written.
I know, but not what they should do by action, but prior to the action.
Yes,
When
yeah,
you have-
yeah, that's the way of putting it. Prior to you taking this action, you gotta know that this is the policy, this is what we are to do in the event of A, B, C, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Okay, right,
That's the premise
I
of the
understand.
action.
right, it sets the premise for the action, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it takes a little while, but once you understand the process, it just flows. And as HR managers, you're gonna be required to write policies and procedures that make sense. Okay, which, and some of them are gonna, because they're so serious, are gonna be included in your policy or your handbook, employee handbook. Right. Okay, and then the handbook can include everything. See, that's why then you have your manuals, for your specific
My hand
areas
said
of
that
the
refer to this slide, you refer to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
for further details, etc. Okay, one last thing. Got y'all tonight, captive, tie up. Go to page 9. There's a scenario that is outlined there. And basically come prepared for discussion on first thing next time and how you will deal with the situation and what course of action will you recommend to be taken. And I will have each of you evaluate the other. Okay, we're gonna do self-evaluation. Okay? Good night. God bless. Have a great weekend.
Good night.
Good night, Kendra. Bye-bye. You got the homework?
Yes, ma'am. Page 9.
Okay, I'll see you next week. God bless.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, first.
No, you see, that's what
Make sure you post your part.
and then.
Let's go.
Yeah. Michael, I think Michael, a couple.
No.
Hey, go, thank you.
It's like they are. We wanted to know what.
Okay, so she deserved it. Yeah, sir.
Use out like the speed limits and all that type of.
Like, let's say.
Okay,
honestly.
Thank you.
Okay.
Later I find out final.
So I can't get that question.
Which one is that?
My missing.
Oh, come on, honey.
Missing things.
I don't understand why you didn't participate in that group. No. You were never assigned to a group, you never joined a group, right? Yeah.
I did not know that.
I just think that three of
I
us-
was in here.
Yeah.
And then, the kid was trying to tell me like, didn't serve,
Right.
but then I sent one email, to the class. And you told me that I could email you to find out who was supposed to be.
Right, and I didn't have that information, I didn't have that information. So I am not, the only thing I think you can do is ask the question on your own, not so much for presentation. Okay, what's again? I don't have my folder from last week. It basically, it was developed an HR policy. And it's civility, but I'm gonna have to. What you call it?
Like just different things.
Because it would be.
And she always wanted her.
So give me,
Okay.
you send somebody tomorrow.
Like doing things.
And give it
doing
tomorrow.
whatever,
When I'm finished,
extracurricular, you know, like-
Okay.
Okay.
So
Like,
you're
you know,
not like a
okay.
selfish
But
individual.
you saw it over that. Sorry. I haven't. All right. Diane, you got a problem?
Yeah.
How you getting home?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let that man swing you.
Miss Stanley get pregnant as well.
He's
He's still in the hospital.
She's still in the hospital?
Yeah, her temperature was 103. And she had to get her lower colon, her anus removed.
Oh, no.
She had the surgery last week, and then 2 weeks before that, she had a mass removed from her colon.
Yeah, I think. All right.
Yeah, so.
Okay, I will, and I let her see my friend. Okay, I know as well. Yeah. Okay.